Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
Just when you thought you may have actually had a handle on this football season, life finds a way, I guess. I managed to go 4-2 on my picks this past week, though the Seahawks and Rams did their darndest to make that not happen. Seriously, Seattle, you almost scraped by against 44-year-old Grandpa Phillip Rivers. Obviously, I missed on Washington and the New York Giants, which was a battle between two teams with a combined total of 5 wins, so, anything could have happened in that one, really. And, of course, I missed on the Kansas City-Los Angeles Chargers game, and now the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, and Patrick Mahomes is out for at least the rest of the season. And, of course, he's not the only one. It's just funny because Micah Parsons, well, not funny, haha, but funny, unique, in the sense that Micah Parsons was injured in almost the exact same way that Patrick Mahomes was. He wasn't the only major injury of note, as Devontae Adams had a really bad hamstring injury against the Lions, and you have to wonder if that's going to hamper the Rams in the future. The NFC South lead keeps kind of bouncing around as the Bucs and Panthers just keep losing it for some reason. On the plus side, the Vikings finally started playing better, just in time to get eliminated from the playoffs thanks to the Bears' victory. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate. All hail Deathmate.
On the college front, there really isn't too much to talk about. We just had one game in Army-Navy, and it was a typical Army-Navy game. Very hard-fought, very close, and, well, Navy pulled out at the end. Heck, I really didn't even watch it as I was busy working on the bowl predictions video. And I attempted to link the original footage of that. However, when I uploaded that to the Snorpo channel, it wound up getting copyright claimed and partially blocked for a piece of music that I don't think has ever gotten copyright claimed at all. So I have no idea what's going on there. I unlisted the video, so that's basically what it is. I have no idea. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to contest it because, again, I'm sorry. I think if it's in the video game and you can't necessarily just delete it out and you're trying to do a Let's Play type thing, you should just kind of be allowed, especially if you're not going to monetize the video. Anyway, this week's games, we start things off with the first round of the college football playoff, with Alabama taking on Oklahoma, Miami taking on Texas A&M, Tulane taking on Ole Miss, and James Madison taking on Oregon. Then on the NFL side, we have New England taking on Baltimore, Tampa Bay taking on Carolina, the New York Jets taking on New Orleans, and Pittsburgh taking on Detroit. Alright, we'll start covering these things after the break.
Hold the end of your string up, Joey. Joey, we're never going to get this done if you keep on eating the Kix.
Kix is a cereal that's low in sugar with a corn crunch that kids like. Kix also makes a great decoration.
So, how's it look? Delicious.
Kix, kid-tested, mother-approved.
It was 5:01 and a knock on the door brought me out of my afternoon snooze. First thing I noticed was a great pair of gams that began with some red leather shoes. Her shrink-to-fit jeans fit like none that I'd seen, and I knew I could never refuse anything that she asked, because the lady had class. She wasn't no regular flues. So I said, come on in, it's time we begin. You and I should be looking for clues. So that was the day that I picked up the case of the babe with the case of the blues. The case of that babe with the button-fly shrink-to-fit Levi's 501 blues.
Hi, I'm the Ice Cream Angel, and I just created Heaven Ice Cream Bars. What fun! First, I took rich premium ice cream, shaped it into a bar, then smothered it with smooth caramel, crunchy roasted peanuts, and covered it all in an extra thick chocolatey coating. And it tastes so good, I just had to call it Heaven.
That was my idea.
New Heaven Ice Cream Bars. They taste so good, we just had to call them Heaven.
We start things off with the first game of the college football playoff between Alabama and Oklahoma. Now, we've covered these teams a few times this season, so I'm just going to point out that really both these teams are being carried by their defenses at this point, and their offenses are kind of struggling. Now, Alabama had kind of been playing well throughout much of the season, but the game began to stumble the last few weeks, and now it turns out that it's possible that Ty Simpson has been playing injured, especially after the Crimson Tide got blown out by Georgia in the SEC Championship game, and the offense has become incredibly scattershot since then. I don't think Ty Simpson is necessarily going to miss anything, but that could wind up affecting play. Now, John Mateer does seem to finally return back to his stride for the Sooners after he came back from injury, but the team's offense is still really struggling. I mean, just look at the game against LSU a couple weeks ago. Hopefully, the nice little break period they have will allow for a lot of corrections to take in and set things. Overall, I think the team that runs the ball best is probably going to have the upper hand in that. And for the most part, that could be Alabama, but if Oklahoma's defense steps up, I don't know how much of a factor that is. I think Oklahoma's playing better football right now, at least at this moment. I think they're going to hold on for the win. This will be very hard fought, but yeah, overall, I like the Sooners here.
There will always be questions. We'll answer the ones about cars.
People call you guys bunny spotters.
Bunny spotters. I think that it trivializes what we do. It's much larger than that.
To watch somebody see it for the first time.
Whew. I feel very fortunate to be here because, when we're all gone, I'm still going to be out there.
NBC Tonight, Dick discovers stand-up comedy.
Look! A bald guy. Am I right?
Ah! It's an all-new Third Reich zany alien comedy adventure.
And the pie's not bad either.
That's hysterical. Then, is it true?
Maybe you shouldn't work here.
Boyd gets fired. Fired, not fire. All new Boston Common tonight.
Our next college football playoff matchup is Miami taking on Texas A&M, and, well, at least we finally have a team I haven't covered that much this season. I think I've only lightly touched on Texas A&M when talking about their possible SEC championship scenarios, and then they immediately ran into a burnt orange wall in Texas. Now, Aggie quarterback Marcel Reed will be a Heisman candidate next year, as he can put up a lot of big numbers, especially with wide receiver Casey Concepcion. The Aggies also feature a pretty potent running attack with running back Le'Veon Moss as their main offensive weapon there. Now, the continuous problem with the Aggies is that every time they try to appear to be something special, it just all falls apart. And this is not a recent thing either. This goes all the way back to the R.C. Slocum days, where they would have almost undefeated regular seasons and be national championship contenders, only to then lose in the Cotton Bowl to Notre Dame. And then you go back through the Dennis Franchione era where they would beat Oklahoma, but then that would be all they did during the season. And of course, Johnny Manziel, pretty much everything from Kevin Sumlin through Jimbo Fisher, all the way to today. It just kind of runs through the whole thing. And it does make you wonder if they could even recover from their loss to Texas. Like, they were favored going into that. They were the number 3 ranked team in the college football playoff, and they kind of blew it. Now, Miami is actually a really good team. They were just kind of done in, mainly thanks to a bunch of tiebreakers. They lost to the wrong teams at the wrong time, and as a result, missed out on the ACC championship game. Now, given the scenario where they managed to squeak into the college football playoff, the Hurricanes could be playing with some house money as they enter into a hostile environment in College Station. That being said, Carson Beck has been kind of hit and miss at quarterback this season, though his wide receivers of Malachi Toney and C.J. Daniels have done pretty well. They also have a pretty good running back in Mark Fletcher Jr., so I think overall the Hurricanes are kind of the better team going into this. Their defense is actually playing really well, though it gets overworked at times. Again, I think as long as they don't make any mistakes, they could really hang in there. But the Aggies have something to prove here. I think this game is going to be close, but ultimately I think Texas A&M is going to hold on for the victory here. I like the Aggies.
No one believed it could happen here until it was too late. Now, an army of international terrorists has landed. Only one man stands in their way.
Did you lose this?
They wanted a war. He gave them one. Chuck Norris, Invasion USA.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check your local listings.
Passport?
Yes.
Listen, Candace, we know what you're going through. Ever since Sprint launched that Diamond Minute rate,
People just won't leave you alone.
And now we hear Sprint's really turning up the heat.
Now you can get 10 cents a minute 24 hours a day to the number you call the most.
so if you're watching, Candace, my advice to you is to go long and never come back.
I would ask to be traded to another city.
I got it. Assume a whole new identity.
Hey, now there's an idea.
Call now and get a limited edition NFL phone card when you sign up for 10 cents a minute.
Our next college football playoff matchup is Tulane versus Ole Miss. This game feels oddly familiar. Yeah, obviously this is a replay of a game from earlier this season that the Rebels won by 35 points, and to be honest, in a way, not much has really changed, especially with Tulane. Retzlaff is still the quarterback, Summerall is still the coach, at least for now. And of course, I think the big problem is that their defense is just way too unpredictable, and not necessarily in a fun way. Now, obviously, Ole Miss has had a major change in that Lane Kiffin is not the coach there, and Pete Golding is. That being said, they still have Lane Kiffin's offensive coordinator for now, before he heads to join Kiffin at LSU. Hopefully, he's not trying to poach players. Now, the Rebels' main offensive threat is quarterback Trinidad Chambliss, who's put up some big numbers. They also have a pretty talented running back in Keywan Lacey. I think the main concern here is, again, the defense, which really has not been tested this season. Like I said, the earlier matchup with Tulane was 45-10. So, again, maybe not as much of a test as they would like to. And, I would really love it if Tulane won this game, or at least kept it close. That would really shut everyone up. It's probably not going to happen, but again, hopefully they can at least keep it close. I like Ole Miss to win this one rather handily, though. So, yeah, I'm going with the Rebels here.
Company wishes you and yours a very happy holiday season.
The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, Notre Dame football, the PGA Tour, Wimbledon, the USGA Championships, and the 2000 and 2002 Olympic Games, all on America's sports leader, NBC. Bill Hartman, Jerry Burns, and Michael J. Fox. 3 family members after one family fortune.
Let's go break the piñata.
Greedy, NBC Tonight.
It's the Heisman Trophy for college place kickers. Don't miss the Lou Groza Collegiate Place Kicker Awards Banquet and Auction, December 10th at the West Palm Beach Sheraton.
Our final college football playoff matchup is James Madison taking on Oregon, and kind of feel like I could just rinse and repeat the previous prediction. Now look, I am not anti-James Madison. I want them in this tournament. I want them to succeed, especially since it would shut up the Feinbaums and Rich Eisens and Josh Pates of the world who keep saying we have to lock out those teams because they're not important enough. Heck, I was for Boise State getting their first round bye last year. I picked them to go to the semifinals. So, again, I am not anti-group of 5, okay? I mean, and, James Madison does seem to have some good things going for them. They're still being coached by Coach Chesney at this point. He hasn't left for UCLA yet. They still have their main weapons in Wayne Knight and George Pettaway at running back and quarterback Alonzo Barrett III. About the one problem is their defense hasn't really been tested, and it's about to get really tested against Oregon and their high-powered offense. Now, the last time we covered Oregon, it was the Penn State game that went to double overtime. Obviously, the Ducks won that and proceeded to wreck the Nittany Lions season. And immediately following that, the Ducks lost pretty handily to Indiana in a game where they really had no offensive effort. Now, they played pretty well for the most part, they played pretty well the rest of the way, though they struggled a little bit with Iowa, but that's always kind of a tricky matchup. Again, much like the previous prediction, I would love if James Madison won, or at least kept it close, but I gotta pick with my head, not my heart, and I do think Oregon's probably going to win this one rather handily. Sorry.
Want to save big on a Chevy Beretta? Start with a factory cash rebate of $500, at an options package discount of $1,500, and a Chevy Beretta can save you up to $2,000. Hurry to your Southern California Chevrolet dealer. And there's big savings on Corsica, too. Start with a factory cash rebate of $400, at an options package discount of $1,300, and a Chevy Corsica can save you up to $1,700. Hurry to your Southern California Chevrolet dealer.
Why you bothering me, boy? Are you crazy?
I'm a chicken hawk and you're a chicken. Are you coming quietly or do I have to mush you up?
You're going at it all wrong, son. You gotta go to Kentucky Fried Chicken if you want to catch America's favorite chicken. It's a great place to get a great meal. No one makes tender, juicy chicken like the Colonel. It's finger-licking good. Here, son, let me give you a lift.
We do chicken right.
Now that you get one free brief with every 6, the Fruit of the Loom bonus pack is such a great deal. You could end up spending more money wrapping it. Have a really, really comfortable Christmas.
Moving on to the NFL, we start things off with New England versus Baltimore, and yes, I am aware this is supposed to be a Sunday night game. It got flexed a few weeks after I selected it, so that's what happened there. Anyway, the Patriots are coming off a loss to the Bills where they blew a 21-point lead. On the plus side, Travion Henderson has now emerged as the starting running back. On the downside, though, offensively, the wide receivers are pretty banged up, and I think that's beginning to affect Drake May's passing abilities. Also, the defense really needs to step up and play better. Still, the Patriots are kind of on the verge of winning the division. They just need the Bills to lose once. Now, Baltimore managed to avenge a Thanksgiving loss to Cincinnati as the defense finally began stepping up. The offense finally seemed to let Mark Henry back in on the picture as he started off slow, but he's managed to start playing a lot better. If, again, the main problem here is the Ravens are pretty banged up, especially on defense, and that defense is struggling a lot with the running game. It's just, I think that's also in a way hindered their ability to have the big play in offense because now they don't want to have such quick drives. Now, both teams do need wins. This is I wrote this before the Steelers played on Monday Night Football, but obviously the Steelers won that game, so the Ravens are, I believe, a game and a half back now. So they need to win to keep in track with the Steelers, but the Patriots are playing a bit more consistently right now, so I'm thinking this is going to be close at halftime, but eventually New England's going to pull away in the second half and win. So yeah, I like New England here.
Tonight's story, Christmas in Crisis.
Snow pudding. Kom
Claus' broken leg leaves Christmas in jeopardy. But the real victims here are the children. Phone calls.
Vad med julafton då?
Si med en dag. Vår egen website. IBM. Vi har fått Lotus Domino. Designere, fabrikanter, distributører må jobbe sammen. Alle forsvarlig tilkoblet databasen over internett. Lotus Domino. Og akkurat tidsnok til julaften. Nå skal vi se. Den gutten fortjener ikke stort, va?
Han hjelper moren sin, da.
Ja, men da skal han da få en fin gave av meg.
Regular spray air fresheners go up and freshen the air. So does Glade Lasting Mist. The difference is regular sprays come down in minutes, but Glade Lasting Mist goes up and stays up, freshening for hours. In fact, you'd have to spray a regular air freshener up to 6 times to get the long-lasting freshness of one touch of Glade Lasting Mist. For hours of freshness, don't spray it, mist it with Glade Lasting Mist. Fresh from Glade. S.C. Johnson Wax.
This week on Today, what OJ's Civil Defense Team needs to do on the stand. Also, tips for a complete holiday makeover and an interview with Tom Cruise. This week on Today.
Our next matchup is Tampa Bay taking on Carolina, and does anyone want to win the NFC South? It seems like these two teams are basically just switching places every other week. It's like they're trying to push each other to the front end of the execution line. Now, the main problem with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is that they're really banged up. I mean, some of the guys have come back like Mike Evans, Bucky Irving, and Chris Godwin, but Mayfield's playing hurt. The defense is also getting really affected by this. They play well at times, but then I think they struggle to just put a complete game together. And I don't just mean on offense and defense. I mean, they don't seem to want to just finish the game. They've blown a lot of leads during these losses. Now, the Panthers just keep taking one step backwards for every step they seem to take forwards. They could have easily taken the division. If they had won against the Saints last week and then won this game, they would have gotten the division. And now, again, they're tied. So they have to hope that they beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay either loses once or they beat Tampa Bay twice. Again, it's just kind of this endless cycle. And they do play well, just, again, not enough to play a complete game and not enough to really instill any confidence. So I like the Buccaneers in a close one here. That's really all I can say.
From Disney and Joe Camp, it's Benji, stranded in a hostile wilderness and trying to get back to civilization. But he's found 4 cougar cub orphans who need his help. And now, Benji must find them a new home and a new family. It's a story of incredible courage and tenderness. A story you'll want to share with your family. Walt Disney Pictures and Joe Camp present Benji, the Hunted, rated G.
Now playing. Consult your local newspaper for showtimes.
More dreams are dreamt under our covers. More wishes are wished for on our pages. And more special moments are captured in our pictures. We're the JCPenney catalog, and we're the largest gift book in the country with thousands of unique items and hard-to-find sizes. We're always open and full of ideas. And that's the reason more happy endings are found in our book, more memories. Call by December 22nd and receive your gifts before Christmas.
Bad news. This Wednesday, ABC's got repeats. On the other hand, NBC's got new comedies. Starting with an all-new Wings. It's the new Corporate Sandpiper.
All right.
At least for now. Then it's a full hour of news radio. including an all-new samurai episode.
Bill, put the sword down.
And an all-new men behaving badly. Jamie's got a photo gig with a gorgeous model.
Wow.
A, male model. All-new NBC Wednesday.
Live, local, late-breaking, News Channel 5. Coverage you can count on.
These sunglasses were a great idea.
Yeah, we would have been blinded.
It's also sparkly.
Kmart's got it all on sale.
Even the diamonds?
The diamonds, the rubies, the gold, all 60% off.
You're kidding. I could buy everything in the case.
Yeah, do me a favor?
What?
Don't wear it all at once.
That look happens to be very in.
Where exactly is it in?
Where the in people are.
You are really out there.
I know the Macarena.
Take 60% off Kmart's low prices on all fine jewelry. Where else but Kmart?
Do. Oh, Mac.
Our next matchup is New York Jets taking on New Orleans in a battle for draft positioning. I guess I got bored again. Now, the Jets do have a new defensive coordinator. It's kind of late in the game to realize you made a mistake there. And I think Toby Cook is still going to be their starting quarterback, or it's possibly Tyrod Taylor. I don't know. Cook played pretty decent for a backup, but he got a lot of garbage time points against the Jaguars, so make of that what you will. Now, the Saints are on a 2-game winning streak over the Buccaneers and Panthers. As I've said in the previous times covering them, New Orleans is really not that bad a team, at least not as bad as their record indicates. And it seems like they're finally coming into form with Tyler Shuck as their quarterback. They're finally starting to make some big plays. The defense is kind of hit and miss sometimes, but overall it can be pretty solid. Again, it seems like the Saints are finally coming together and starting to play good football. And that's kind of the thing overall here. The Jets are bad, and the Saints are not as bad. So I like the Saints to win this one rather handily. That is all.
Can MasterCard predict the future? Well, someday a computer chip in your MasterCard will be able to recognize your finger pattern, making your personal ID truly personal and your MasterCard even more secure. MasterCard, it's smart money.
Only from Domino's, new garlic crunch crust pizza, roasted garlic, baked right into our classic hand-tossed dough, then sprinkled with Parmesan crunchies all around the edge. It's a delicate blend of herbs and garlic in every bite of our delicious steaming crust. Call now and get a large one topping just $9.99. New garlic crunch crust for a limited time only.
For hot and wild, call Domino's.
Seems like everyone you know is sick or has the flu. It's more widespread than you might think. Dangerous? Thousands died from it last year. What should your family do? Don't miss NBC 90 News Monday.
Since we launched MSNBC, we've been making news.
MSNBC excels at live.
A great concept whose time has come. Watch MSNBC and see what you think.
Our final matchup is Pittsburgh taking on Detroit. Again, this was written during the Steelers game on Monday Night Football, so I can't really impart too much as to their victory over the Dolphins, which is weird. At the time, it was just about to go into the half, and the Dolphins actually played pretty well. I think the Steelers were just starting to pull away there. And yes, Pittsburgh has been very hot and cold, yes and no, in and out at times this season. At times, the offense really seems to move the ball down the field really well, and then they just hit a wall. Added to that, the defense has struggled. And in fact, I don't know if TJ Watt's going to be coming back. I believe he's still out at the moment. So, again, who knows what type of effect that's going to have. Now, like I said last week, Detroit is getting really banged up again, especially on defense. On the plus side, as Jahmyr Gibbs struggled against the Rams' rush defense, Amon-Ra St. Brown managed to step up and have a pretty big game. But the fact of the matter is, the Lions need a win and a lot of help if they're going to get back into the playoff picture. Now, Detroit will be playing at home, so they'll at least have home field advantage, and the crowd can help control a lot there, especially if the Steelers' defense starts struggling again. And I do like the Lions' offense a bit more than the Steelers' defense right now, so I'm going to pick Detroit in a close one here. I like the Lions. All right, we'll come back after the break to wrap things up.
Holidays like Chex Party Mix. The holiday snack that everybody loves to share.
Jimmy, light up the cord and hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, one battery lives up to its name. Dial, tried and true.
Oh ho! Oh diddly ho ho! Got your pizza movie, guys.
What?
I got your pizza movie.
What's a pizza movie?
You buy a pizzeria stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut, you get a free rental at Blockbuster. Pizza movie, get it?
Free? How'd you do that?
I'm Santa. I can do anything.
Now at Pizza Hut, buy a large pizzeria stuffed crust pizza for $9.99 and get a certificate for one free rental of Blockbuster Video.
This is getting easy.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I like Oklahoma over Alabama, Texas A&M over Miami, Ole Miss over Tulane, and Oregon over James Madison in the college football playoffs. Then on the NFL side, I like New England over Baltimore, Tampa Bay over Carolina, New Orleans over the New York Jets, and Detroit over Pittsburgh. Next week, we'll cover the college football playoff quarterfinals, and then on the NFL side, we'll be covering the holiday games with Dallas taking on Washington, Detroit taking on Minnesota, Denver taking on Kansas City, and Chicago taking on San Francisco Sunday night. After that, we'll be covering the college football playoff semifinals, and then the final week of the NFL season, where we'll see the LA Chargers take on Denver with the AFC West possibly on the line, Washington take on Philadelphia with something on the line, Baltimore taking on Pittsburgh with the AFC North possibly being on the line, and Seattle taking on San Francisco to possibly determine playoff positioning, or the NFC West. Who really knows at this point? And then after that, hopefully I'll be able to get the random trade review on the Authority Relentless up. I'm hoping to get that started soon, so we can start getting that done as soon as we can. So that it's up at the turn of the year. Okay, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions, or just click the link in the description. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be made aware of further videos.